What's up guys, Lolo here from HyperLinkCentral.com. Today we're actually going to be reviewing the Moshi snap case for the iPhone 4. This case was $34 for me at least. I don't know what it'll translate for those of you in the United States or other countries. So, as you guys might have noticed, this is actually in HD, so thumbs up for that. Let's take a look at the overall look here. It actually is a very elegant case, and at first blush, it's almost as if that the phone doesn't have a case on. If you look at angles like that or like that, it's really hard to tell. Now, let's go ahead and take a look around the case and talk about some advantages and disadvantages with each respectful side. So this is the front. Now the front, you do get a very iPhone-esque feel as you would with it without a case, because although you do get some protection on the case itself, evidently the front is fully open and you do feel the plastic rim around the edges, which almost confirms that. So the disadvantage of this being that if you drop your phone straight on the front, you're almost getting no protection. So although you do get a very similar feel as you would to the phone without a case, you do lose some protection. Now let's take a look at the side. The side actually, this is the right side of the phone. There's nothing on this side, that is. And you actually don't get access to your antenna cut here, so no antenna gate. And it actually very much resembles the iPhone itself, whether it uses the plastic rim here with a kind of plastic rim that's duplicated on the back. So in that respect, it's actually a lot like the iPhone without the case on. So I think the real goal of this case was to duplicate the phone without the case on itself. Now the other side is not so much a similar deal, because they do have open cuts, well, one open cut for the volume rocker, all volume buttons now, and the mute switch, as opposed to cutouts for each port, which would almost make it a little more resemblant of the phone without the case on. So in this respect, it's actually obvious that there is a case on, and that's not a huge deal because this is a very elegant, gorgeous case. So it's not like you have to be ashamed that there's a case on. No, I'm just saying that it's a little more evident on this side, and like the front, you are losing some minimal protection because there's this open cutout here. Now, some advantages of that: you do get a similar feel to the phone without a case on, because there's nothing in the way of the volume controls here, whether it be the mute switch or the volume buttons. These feel exactly like the phone without the case on. I have no difficulty pressing these buttons. I have no difficulty switching it in and out of mute mode. It actually does a very great job of duplicating the phone's feel without case. I just find there's a certain extent where the purpose of a case is almost defeated, where it loses some of its protection. Let's take a look at the back here. This is a totally different story, because the back, there's nothing to really leave open, and I'll explain that later on. Because this entire plastic back is hardcover, and it's very, very protective. It's hard plastic here with a matte finish here, and I'll show you guys up close. This is a matte finish. You guys can feel it very smooth here. There's a cutout for the Apple logo, cutout for your camera and flash. If we take a closer look at the camera and flash, we do have the flash ring to prevent flash issues. So I'm just going to load up a flashlight app here. No, it appears it's over here. We have our flashlight app loaded up. Very bright, very flash-like. Just cover a bit here. Really duplicates the same issues. My finger does glow up. So very, very good flash here. The camera, same quality. There's nothing covering it. Nothing covering the lens here. The Apple logo is actually open in the back, and that actually gives a very, very nice look. Some other cases do it. Some other cases can't pull it off, but I find that this case does an excellent job of doing so. And although you can't fully replicate the case without making the case fully replicating the look of the phone, without having a clear case. It actually does a really good job on the back. Just at first blush, this doesn't look like there's a case on right here. And generally, you just see the Apple logo and the Moshi text almost resembles the iPhone text. It did a good job of putting things in the place of where the phone would have things if there weren't a case on. So I think the biggest deciding factor is that if you want a protective case, which I'd really have to say this does a better job than the in-case snap case. The in-case snap case is a lot more flimsy plastic. This is harder plastic and there's more of it. So in that respect, you almost get a similar look to the iPhone itself, yet you get more protection. And this really applies to the back. And you do have more protection, minimal protection in some areas to duplicate the same feel. And buying the case, you're not going to get a fully protective case. Looking for a similar feel that really gives a sleek feeling, resembles the phone itself, does that perfectly on the bottom, on the front, on the back, on the top. The case itself does an excellent job, and if I can't really duplicate this perfectly, but it is actually a very, very, very slim profile to it. So that's a very, very good advantage. Now, you do lose a bit of protection from other cases, but it's better than no protection. So I'd have to say that this is a good case if you want something that really, really resembles the iPhone itself, while giving it some pretty good protection. Not perfect, but it's there. And let's talk a bit about the accessories here. I've already applied the aspects of the two accessories that were given here. We're actually given this little screen cleaner, glass cleaner. Does an excellent job. And if I'm gonna get close up with you here, let's take a look at the screen. Seeing the lighted. Alright, so now we get a good look at the screen here. We have a bit of dirt over here. Cleans it out. It does a good job here. Got a bit of dirt. Just about gone. So really good at cleaning the screen here. Nice little cloth to just apply with your thumb. Clean the Apple logo. What else they give you is actually a little protector here. No, it's not going to be very obvious what the protector is for, but I'll actually have a cutout for everything except for the camera. And I originally thought it was a screen protector, so I was trying to put it so that it doesn't cover the home button or it doesn't cover the camera. And I figured out the use, and this is actually to protect the back, because although the front protection isn't very much there, the back protection is. And the Apple logo, initially without this plastic here that you apply on the glass protector, is actually very prone to scratches. So the glass over here is very prone to scratches. But if you apply this plastic here and then put on the case, it's actually not prone to scratches as much, or really at all. So I find that you have the full protection on the back, minimal to no protection on the front, good protection on the sides and corners, so, and an elegant thin profile, and very similar to the original iPhone look itself. So with those in mind, I definitely recommend the Moshi snap case for your iPhone 4. And if you can get it for your 3G or 3GS, go ahead and buy it too. Definitely worth it. That's all, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.